Always knew it was not forever. 'Cause we walked the line of love and hate. When we saw the signs, it was just too late. Now we're just crying out for something we can talk about. When all our days are just the same, we need to get out of the rain, get out of the rain.
That's not bad, is it? That's very good, in fact. It's from an album that sadly will never be released now, or was never released. Tom O'Regan is the guy's name, and he was from Cork, and his dad was Brendan O'Regan, and last week we were talking about the subject of sudden adult death on the programme, and it prompted Brendan to get in touch through a mutual friend. Brendan, good morning.
Hi, good morning, PJ.
I know it's difficult to listen to that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I tell you, I listened last night to the CD. Your son was one talented young fella. Fabulous, fabulous. Great guy. Tell me what happened to him, Brendan.
Well, unfortunately, he died in his sleep one Saturday morning. We got that dreadful call that nobody ever wants to get. He had been living in Singapore for the last year and a half, working in IT, and we got a call to say that he had died in his sleep from causes unknown at that time of the call. Yeah. So we immediately grabbed a flight out there, and when we got there, we found that he had a heart attack in his sleep, and we were putting it down to a viral infection, myocarditis, apparently. Yeah. So we were absolutely devastated, as you can imagine. We went through that flight thinking that maybe they made a mistake, maybe it's the wrong guy, maybe it's a different Tom O'Regan, but when we got there, we learned the awful truth, and we've been living with that since. That was last June, in fact, since 2010.
The CD comes in a beautiful, I don't know if it's available, Tom or Brendan, but it comes in a beautiful folder. Fantastic photographs of a young, fit, healthy, happy, good-looking, smiling bloke who loved life. And it comes across in his music that he just loved living.
Absolutely, and he was a very fun-loving guy, you know, like death and was very far off Tom's radar. He lived life to the full in his short 29 years. Like, he had a huge impact on everybody around him. A very popular guy, friendly, outgoing. I mean, we put the album together to kind of just capture the music. Some of it came even from his iPhone, you know.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make some kind of tangible memorial to just, I suppose, give people a feeling for what we actually had lost in this young fella. You know, he was exceptional, and it just is a very hard pill to swallow for us, you know.
And when you investigated it further, did you get to the bottom of what actually happened to him?
Well, we're still in the investigation phase at the moment, believe it or not. We have a generic kind of category of our group of illnesses that cause this problem. And we don't know if there's any underlying heart condition. Now, we happily were both, and our remaining, our daughter, Tom's sister, Dara, was also screened in the Mater there a few weeks ago, and we came up clean in terms of any congenital heart disorders or underlying problems, you know. So it appears to be this viral myocarditis, you know. Yeah. And unfortunately, people who acquire this illness, it's not detected because the symptoms are quite mild, and you end up succumbing to it, and very few people survive it, actually.
Now, I know that you're devastated still, Brendan, as is Dorothy. John Boylan, who rang me on your behalf to see would we talk to you. We were delighted to do so.
Right.
Told me of the way it's devastated yourself and your wife, and indeed Dara, his sister.
Yeah.
But you've decided to channel that energy into awareness, Brendan.
Yeah.
How are you going about that?
Well, I suppose I'm going about it in two ways, really. First of all, I thought, well, let's get the CD done and capture all the music that's there. Well, there's about 45 more tracks that he has in various states of completion, and I want to do that first as a memorial to him. And then I said, well, what can I do to best kind of sort this out or try and prevent it from happening to somebody else. And the best thing I thought was just try and raise public awareness. So we published the names of the websites on the back of the CD packaging there, and I also got involved with stdyoung.ie. It's a support group, and the Matter Foundation in Dublin, who run a heart screening service in Heart House. So both of those are the focus for now in terms of raising awareness. And the Matter actually have a very I suppose, well-oiled machine for fundraising and for public awareness, and a lot of high-profile support. And SCD Young is also in that sort of same frame, you know. So we're just channeling through those at the moment and trying to come up with new ways to bring it to the public without frightening the people, to frighten the life out of people either. You know, it's not like it's a rampant problem, but nonetheless, the people who are affected, it's absolutely devastating and completely checks your life beliefs, you know.
Of course it does, yeah. So the CD, are you going to actually release the CD, Brendan?
Well, we haven't actually decided yet, to be honest. We just said we'd get it done and see where it went, you know. I mean, the reaction to it has been huge. In fact, I printed 500 copies. I'm out of those now, and I did another 100 just to send out to people who are looking for them, you know.
Yeah.
And it went all over the world. It's been in the States and Singapore, where he lived for, say, a year and a half, and friends all over Ireland, UK, and Europe, you know. So it's got quite a bit of spread out there. But we're not promoting it as such, but we'll see where it goes, you know.
Yeah. And I suppose when something like this happens, your life goes into a complete tailspin, and can stay in that tailspin for months on end.
It can.
And I think you're reaching out, are you, Brendan, to other parents who have found themselves in that awful place and could find themselves in it tomorrow?
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, like the support groups certainly help you with that, you know, and we have found people to be very sympathetic. Like, I suppose the professionals involved in this space know the pain you go through, and they treat you in a very sympathetic manner, particularly now the people in Heart House in the Matter. And, you know, very thorough, very understanding, and you know they go about their business in a very sympathetic way. So that's one side of it. The other side is meeting other parents who've been through it. You're kind of in that awful club, and you know you can talk to each other without barriers, I suppose, around the pain that you feel, because it's just devastating. It's quite unlike anything else I ever experienced in my life. I've unfortunately lost both my parents, but this has just been the tsunami-like wave that has struck us, and it just is